doing work at the UN, and I had been interning for them for about a year, and I'm really coming from a background of studying sustainable development and political science. And as I reached my senior year, I realized that any conception of peace building and of nuclear weapons issues had been completely absent from my education so far. And that's after 2 years studying at Sciences Po Paris, studying political humanities, and then at Columbia. And I really thought that was absolutely unacceptable, given that nuclear weapons are one of the most dangerous threats to not only human health, environmental health, but to sustainability as a whole, and to us having a planet for future generations. And in my opinion, we are currently in the most dangerous geopolitical situation as it relates to nuclear weapons that we've ever been to. We have 2 wars going on right now, both including a nuclear power. And I can't tell you the number of sustainability conferences I've been to where nuclear weapons are not even discussed, not an issue. They're not even included in a panel, let alone a keynote speech. So I'm so grateful to Ali and IYC for giving me the opportunity to include these topics in a main section of the conference and to have these dialogue with youth, because I also believe that I've been so inspired by how much youth have taken up the climate change conversation. I think so much of the changes in sustainability that we've seen on local and federal government levels, as well as in corporations, have come from the youth climate movement. And in my opinion, the nuclear weapons issues ties directly into the climate change topic, because not only, as I mentioned, is it a threat to sustainability, but if we have a nuclear war, that causes nuclear winter. That's the most severe climate change we would ever experience as a society, and we would never be able to recover from it. So I'm super passionate about getting more youth to understand the legacy of nuclear use, the legacy of nuclear testing, the conception of nuclear justice. We have so many victims here, even in the United States, in New Mexico, in Nevada, in Utah, that have suffered from past nuclear testing. Mostly communities of color and indigenous communities. We also have communities around the world, in Kazakhstan, in the Pacific Islands, in Australia. So many people that continue to suffer astronomical rates of cancer, illness, and issues with reproductive health because of the over 1,000 nuclear testing that the world has done. And nuclear testing, once again, is not something I ever learned at any one of my classes, which is honestly scary. Like, I barely learned about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but didn't learn anything about the fact that the United States tested over 500 nuclear bombs, all of them dozens and dozens, some hundreds of times more powerful than the bombs dropped at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The only difference is that they weren't dropped directly on population centers, but if you read about the nuclear justice, you'll see that for many communities, no one was evacuated, or if they were evacuated, they were evacuated for 24 hours, 48 hours. They were all sent back into their communities afterwards. We have entire Marshallese communities who are no longer able to inhabit the islands that their ancestors, that were fully their homes, and it's an issue that I'm still learning more about. I would say I'm fairly new to it as well, but I'm just passionate about learning alongside other youth and bringing this to people's attention. So again, thank you to IYC. I'm excited to make the bridge between climate and nuclear, and also to get as many young people involved as possible. I agree with a previous speaker who said that it was incredibly important to get the academic community involved, because seeing the research on the damaging health impacts of nuclear testing and radioactivity is an incredibly powerful accelerator for disarmament. And yeah, I'm very looking forward to the conference, and thank you.